Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I'm Eva Medilek, and I want to talk to you today about energy. So, who am I, and why do I get to talk to you about energy? Well, I'm a high performance coach, and I help people avoid and recover from burnout, stress, exhaustion, and overwhelm that often affects who we are and how we show up in life. You know, have you ever talked to somebody or been in a relationship with someone who was always tired, exhausted, and overwhelmed? Or maybe you're that person who's always tired, exhausted, and overwhelmed. How is it being in relationship to a person like that? How are they showing up? Are they patient and kind and compassionate, or are they short tempered, impatient, and judgmental? You know, our energy affects everything we do. Our energy affects our relationship. So, how can we set ourselves up to feel more vibrant and confident and energized, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally as well? So, if you struggle with energy, if you find yourself always tired, always telling people how tired you are because you are so busy. Maybe falling asleep when you're with your family, maybe watching TV or playing games at night, falling asleep, maybe yawning a lot in conversations, not finding yourself being able to focus and stay present with what's going on. If that's you, or maybe someone you know who's close to you, just put me in the chat. And let me say hello to Veronica real quick and Irene. So nice to have you both join me today. So, I want to talk about what happens when we don't have good energy. And by good energy, I mean we're not feeling vibrant, we're not enjoying life, we're not bringing joy, choosing happiness, but instead want to stay in overwhelm or exhaustion just because of everything that we have to do. I mean, look, we're all busy. We all have stuff to do. We're all trying to make our way. Hi, Vuilkazi. I hope I said that right. Yes, it's been a while. So, how are you showing up when you don't feel your best? Did you know that how you feel today is a direct result on what you did 3 days ago? So maybe 3 days ago you didn't get a good night's sleep because maybe you weren't feeling well, or maybe you went to bed too late. Maybe you had a lot of things on your mind, or maybe you had a child, or in my case, a dog who kept you up all night or woke you up in the middle of the night. And then today, all of a sudden, you feel like your wagon is dragging and you're not feeling your best and doing your best. And so, as a high performer, we get to set up our lives so that we show up performing our best and on our A game every day of our lives. You know, if you've ever seen a car race, like a NASCAR race or the Indianapolis 500, or any other cars where they're racing around the track, you'll notice that as they are racing around the track, going at dangerously high speed so that they could at least finish the race without crashing and burning, but of course they all hope to win the race, you'll notice how often cars pull over and stop for a pit stop. And I remember when I used to watch these cars, I would think, especially when I saw the lead car pull over and stop for a pit stop, I would wonder, why are they stopping now? There's nothing wrong with the car, and if they stop now, they're going to fall behind and lose the race. Other people are going to pass them by. Like, it didn't make any logical sense to me as to why they would pull over when nothing's wrong with the car. But those drivers know how important it is to take a pit stop so that they can continue to race at peak or high performance without crashing and burning, if you will. And so most of us are racing nonstop, trying to do everything we can so that we don't fall behind and lose. And we're afraid of losing if we were to stop, if we were to take a break from our busy days. And because of that, what happens is our health, our relationships are in breakdown, where our well being is always stress, tension, and overwhelm, if that makes sense. And so it's really important to take pit stops or incorporate, if you will, high performance habits into your life and business so that you don't break down along the way. So we've got our physical energy. We want to be healthy. We want to be happy. We want to be vibrant. We have our mental energy. We want to be clear minded, patient, compassionate, all the things that make us a kind, nice person that overwhelm and exhaustion tend to steal from us. And we want to have happy, healthy relationships. So, what do we need to do? What do we need to look at? Well, first of all, we need to look at our habits, our daily habits. So, first of all, what routines do you have in your day to set you up to win? A morning routine, having some kind of routine that your mind and your body and your emotions can depend on to set you up and start to win the day starts with a morning routine. Morning routines have been proven to wipe out 20% of stress and brings you preparedness for the day. So what can those morning routines look like? Well, it could look like some type of meditation. It could look like just looking at your calendar, uh, organizing your day so that it's productive. It could look like a favorite drink. Mine is like a hot lemon water with a little apple cider vinegar in it. It could look like some movement, some stretching, something that you do to get yourself prepared to take on the challenges that you know are going to come to this day. And then you want to have something that you do to recharge, like those pit stops. What do you do to recharge yourself throughout the day? You see, most of us, you know, we may have breakfast, we may fuel up in the beginning of the day, and then we run on that same tank of gas all day until we're out of gas at the end of the day. And then we have our families getting what's left over of us. When you look at cars racing around the track and they stop for pit stop, they filling that tank before it's empty. So what could you do to fill your tank before it's empty so that you can keep running at peak or high performance? And so let's look about your diet. Let's look at your diet and nutrition. Are you eating to satisfy hunger? Or are you eating to fuel yourself and recover? Are you eating fuel? Ugh, oh my God, I can't talk today. Are you eating foods that drain your energy, that drag you down, that give you that crash, that make you exhausted? Or are you eating foods to energize yourself? Are you eating when you're hungry and by then you're hangry? Are you eating to prevent hunger and hanger from coming your way? And we all know what it's like to be hangry and or to deal with a hangry person. You don't want to do that, right? If you've been hangry and haven't shown up as your best self because you are hungry, tired, and cranky and angry, put a 1 in the chat. And you can admit it, whether you're watching on the replay or you're watching live. You know what that does to your mood to be hangry. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to set yourself up to fuel and recover for the day. Whatever that food source is from you, whether it's vitamins or supplements, whether it's eating more whole foods, more fruits and vegetables, maybe, for some people it's a plant-based diet. For some people it's keto and more protein-based, less carbs. But whatever that is for you, and you can work with, your physician or nutritionist, or do some research on your own to find out what it's going to take to have you perform your best. And then the last thing I'll say about this is rest and recovery. That is super important. How do you make sure that you give your brain and your body the optimum amount of sleep, which can be 7 to 9 hours per night, so that you rest and recover? That could mean not checking your emails late at night. And then your brain is all activated and everything that you're stressing out to do tomorrow or the next day or what you're doing now before you go to bed. It could mean turning your phone off and putting it on silent or do not disturb after 6 or 7 o'clock at night. How can you protect your body and your brain and your health so that it can get good sleep to rest and recover? So here's a formula I want to give you that'll help you get good, restful sleep. And it's a 3-2-1 formula. 3, no food 3 hours before bed. So none of that late night snacking or going to bed on a full belly. 2, 2 hours before bed, you want to stop working. So if you've got any last minute things to do after dinner, or just one more report to get out, or whatever that looks like for you, give yourself a break from work at least 2 hours before bed. And then the number one thing that I would encourage you so that you get a good restful sleep is no screens an hour before bed. That means no TV, no computer, no Netflixing, no YouTubing, no reading on your Kindle or a bright device, because those UV rays and whatever is emitted from our devices do not get our brains in a state of rest and relaxation, and it'll take you longer to fall asleep. So there's books that they still make books out of paper. So if you need to read or relax or meditate before bed to get your body and mind ready to get a good night's sleep. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps you learn how to not only avoid burnout and prevent burnout, but to really energize yourself so that you're feeling your best, so that you can perform your best at home, at work, and in your communities. So thank you for joining. It's just some quick coaching tips to help you perform as a high performer so that you get the results that you want in life. So follow me on Instagram, Eva Medilek Executive Coach. Check out my website, evamedilek.com. And if you want to talk to me more about how you can create a life of your dreams, feeling and performing your best, you can fill out an application on my website to work with me. I would love to chat with you. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.